Hey everybody, Erica here from In the Company of Cards. Welcome if you're new, welcome back. If you've been here a minute, the channel is continuing to grow. We're now at 35,000 and 25. So it's just growing. Every time I wake up in the morning and look, there's more of you. So I'm really delighted. Thank you for all your comments on the video yesterday. This will be a quick one. I want to look at two topics, and then I want to remind you about what's coming up tomorrow. So today, Governor Abbott of the state of Texas instructed the Texas Department of Public Safety to arrest the Texas House Democrats who have left the state. They've gone to places like, where did they go? Illinois, New York, Massachusetts, I think maybe California too, I'm not sure. But at any rate, they did not flee the state. They left the state, and they left the state so that there would not be enough people voting to vote on this redistricting that 47 has requested that Abbott see to. Uh, Abbott has been told by 47 that he wants five more Republican seats. So Abbott said, as it is written, so it shall be done. And so the Democrats said, yeah, no, we're not doing that. A special session had been called in um, uh, to do this vote on this restructuring, and they flung some other stuff in there. So what Abbott is saying is, oh, because these lawmakers have left the state, they are not doing their sworn duty. And so we can't look at things like what? Human trafficking and national disaster relief, like as though Abbott cares about either of those things. So, that's sort of to try to get people on side. But, this has been done before, by the way. And I don't remember if it was Texas, but it definitely has been done before, where these lawmakers have left the state and are going to want to try to wait out this special session that was called. The special session is up in 2 weeks, so theoretically they could be away for 2 more weeks. Um, Abbott has called for their arrest. It's a civil arrest, so it's not a criminal arrest. It's a civil arrest with the idea being that they would be forced, frog marched back to the capital, to Austin, Texas, and be made to participate in these votes. Uh, but these arrest warrants only are good inside the state. They don't extend to the states where these lawmakers have gone to. So I guess I'm trying to think about what I want to ask. Uh, you know, Abbott is absolutely a 47 flunky. There's no question about that. We know he doesn't care about things like disaster relief because we saw what happened with the flood. Remember that when all those little girls died in the camp and everybody else? And then aid took forever to get there. And, uh, Abbott's not thinking about aid to Texas. 47's not thinking about aid to Texas. So this has nothing to do with that. This is purely about votes and refiguring the maps so that uh, there won't be as many Democrats elected come election time. So I guess I want to know, is 47 and Abbott's plan going to work? Will they be able to restructure, redistrict, redraw the lines in Texas? I think I've mentioned this whole situation before, and that there are other states that have said, "Oh, okay, if you do that, then there are blue states that will go ahead and do that." and will drown out any effect of the red states doing it. It'll cause much more harm to the red states if blue states start redrawing lines than it will if red states start redrawing lines. So I'm going to use the letter for this redistricting plan, and I just want to know whether it will succeed or fail in Texas. And again, the Democrats do have um, a plan for how to counter that. And this would be plans drawn up not by the Democratic Party or anything, but by governors of blue states. All right, so how will Abbott's plan go? And we're going to use the letter for the plan. Thank you all for liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting. I really, really appreciate it. I read everything that you send me, so thank you for that. Okay, so this is the plan. This is Abbott's plan. Okay, so the question is, will Abbott's plan work in Texas? We have the mountain, we have the ship, we have the plan, we have the key, and then we have the lily. So, you know, loved seeing the mountain there because obviously with these lawmakers decamping to other states so that they're not being made to participate in this charade, this theft, it means that there is a delay in the theft, in the restructuring, in the redlining, in the whatever they want to call it. So it's delayed. Problem is, after it's delayed, it moves forward. Now, if the session's up in 2 weeks, we're still not at September in 2 weeks. So the session could end and then everybody come back after Labor Day. That could be the point at which Abbott tries again. In the center, of course, is this redistricting plan. And then we have the final cards in the line, and I did draw some clarifiers, but we have the key and the lily. Very interesting. Um, I love the key, but I'm mirroring it here with the ship. So I think the plan moves ahead. They figure out a way to move it ahead. Um, the lily I can mirror with the mountain. So I just feel like it calms down for a while. There's nothing done, but then eventually something will be done. Uh, on the letter, the clarifier that I drew were the birds, which means that this is not anything that they can do sort of under cover of night. The fact that these lawmakers have left and gone to other states as a sort of a protest move has caused a lot of chatter and talk about what Abbott is trying to do. Um, and so I drew a couple of extra clarifiers. So here's the plan. This is the chatter about it. And then we have the stork. And then we have 47. Remember, 47 really wants this because he thinks it will make his chances better to advance his agenda. Uh, Now I'm going to draw a couple more. I drew one clarifier, but I'm going to draw a couple more. So again, normally I love the key, but here the key it feels like they figure out a way to move forward. Not in advance of the 2 weeks, I don't think, but after the 2 weeks. In September. But the clarifiers are the scale. Now, the scale is the card for justice. So you think our side could win and that he won't be allowed to do this move. But it's followed by the snake. They are going to do their dirt. I mean, Abbott has been given his marching orders. He's been given his instructions by 47. Find me 5 votes. Sounds like the election, right? Um, they'll do whatever they have to do. They'll try it over and over and over again until they achieve their goal of this redistricting. The last card was the lily, and the clarifiers are the bear, the heart, and the young man. So, lily doesn't really fit, to tell you the truth. It's a great card. It's a card of maturity. And so you'd like to think, that cooler heads will prevail, etc. But it's followed by the narcissistic bear, which is the other card for 47, and Abbott in this case. Uh, and I think still this is a bullying energy. 47 wants what he wants, and he will strong arm whoever he has to strong arm in order to get it. So there will be delays. I like the fact that, again, there's this mountain, but Abbott and his people will fight the mountain. And again, I think in the end, they will probably be able to do this redistricting, which is fine. That just will green light whatever the blue states decide to do in terms of that. And that will accrue to the harm of the Republican Party. They just want to take the long way around to their own destruction, and that's fine. All right. The other thing I'd like to look at is Maxwell for a second. So funny. I had 2 French viewers. One was last week and one was the other day or yesterday. So one French viewer, the one last week, said that her um, sister had the same name as Maxwell, same first name. And so she knows because she's French and her sister has this name that it's pronounced Ghislaine. Then I had a French person come on the other day, yesterday, and to say that it is their personal mother's name. They are also French, and they say that the way the name is pronounced is Ghee. You know that that's the clarified butter that you use for cooking with Indian food, and that's pronounced ghee. Ghee, and then the last part is pronounced len, like lend, but without the D. So Guylaine, Guylaine. That's how I thought it was pronounced, Guylaine. I'm not going to start a world war with the French because I love the French. So I'm just going to call her Maxwell, as I said. So what I wanted to look at is something slightly more granular. I think that I've already read on this, and I still agree with what the card showed me, which is that the Supreme Court will refuse to hear the case. Remember that she's got an appeal, and they will decide whether they're going to hear it in September. The appeal is based on a technicality, an agreement that was made with Epstein to hold no one legally responsible for anything if he pleaded guilty to what he pleaded guilty to. Uh, Maxwell was never named in that agreement, so I don't know why she's hopping in there and saying this is all about her, and therefore the government breached its promise when they charged and then convicted her. But anyway, it's a technicality. My cards showed that the Supreme Court didn't want any part of it. But what I want to know now is, now she's in Club Fed. I would like to know, I just want to jump to the outcome. I know that 47 and Maxwell have been friends and have been friends for decades. Word on the street has it that Ivana and Maxwell were best friends. I think that for old lang syne, for old time's sake, uh, I think 47 will find a way to extradite her to France. I don't think he'll get her house arrest or free her out of hand. I think he'll say, oh, you know what? We don't need this trouble over here. Let's just send her to France. There is nothing that Maxwell can say on his behalf that anyone will believe. There's nothing she can say about anybody that is automatically believable. So she's a tainted witness. She's a perjurer, and of course, she would have every reason to perjure herself if she thought that it could gain her freedom. So I think that 47 will not require her to say anything, one way or the other. She already met with Todd Blanche, and I think all she has to do is sit tight, enjoy the amenities of Club Fed, wait until after the Supreme Court turns her down. And I think at that point, for friendship's sake, and I think he thinks that out of gratitude, she will uh, not feel inclined to embarrass him with any information that she has. I think it's like a gentleman's agreement between a felon and a felon. A felon and a felonette, um, to just sort of, you go your way, I'll go my way. Thank you for not blowing me up, uh, Maxwell. And for the sake of the friendship that you had with my wife, Ivana, and again, I'll leave out the speculation of how she ended up at the foot of a spiral staircase. But anyway, for the sake of the friendship that you two shared, and the friendship that you and I share, um, au revoir, go to France. Uh, I'm not going to say a bientôt because maybe I hope we never see each other again, but have a good life and see ya. That's what I think will happen. So I'm going to use the ship, and I would like to know if Maxwell will be extradited to France, where she will live out her years. Again, I still think she'll be in danger wherever she goes. Nobody likes a pedophile except 47, and all of the other men who were involved in the enterprise who have remained nameless. But let's look at the ship. I just want to see if she'll be extradited. Okay, so here's our ship. So we have the young woman, the sun, the ship, the dog, and the fish. You know what I think? I think that my hypothesis is correct. I think this is for old time's sake, when we were all young in the 90s. Maxwell, you were young as well. For old time's sake, um, I have some affection for you, some warmth, uh, and so I'm going to send you out of the country. You can never return. Send you out of the country to France or wherever. Uh, I I remember our friendship. I remember your friendship with my first wife, the unfortunate bottom of the staircase, Ivana, but we were all friends. And I am aware of that. I want to be your friend again. And I hear that you're really rich. So, uh, if you can find a way to send me money, Maxwell, that would be great. Because, he doesn't do anything for no reason. So I think there will be money that it changes hands. The understanding is that she's got money stashed somewhere, the Caymans in France, somewhere. Um, uh, so yeah, I mean, it's interesting that the fish come up because people have asked if he's going to pardon Sean Combs, did he? I said before that I didn't think he would. A, Diddy's got no money anymore. And B, well, except he squirreled some away too, but still. And B, he has not been sufficiently um, subservient to 47. He's said some not nice things about 47, or less than complimentary, we'll just say, things about 47. So if you don't, you can kiss a pardon goodbye. I think that I think that Maxwell and Maxwell and 47 are cut from the same cloth. I think that they say there's no honor among thieves, but I think that they respect each other as criminals, entertainment purposes only, and allegedly. And again, I think for old lang syne, for old time's sake, he will say, okay, I'm just gonna straight out extradite her. I'm not gonna say she didn't do something. I'm just gonna say, as a mercy thing, I'm gonna send her to France. That's what I think will happen. All right, that's all I had for today, but I did want to remind you of something I mentioned yesterday. Tomorrow, I'm going to be on live, not on my channel, but on Psychic Violetta's channel. You know that I had her on as a guest during one of my Sunday conversations, and we really hit it off. And so she's been kind enough to invite me on her channel, and this will be a live. So please bring yourselves, bring your cups of coffee, bring your questions. Here's when it is. And you got to go to her channel for this, right? There's a link to the live stream, so you'll be able to see it, when it goes live. It is at 10 o'clock a.m. Pacific. It is 11 o'clock Mountain Time. It is noon Central Time, and it is 1 in the afternoon Eastern Time. If you didn't catch that, play it back. Um, but again, it's 11 o'clock Pacific. So that's about as far out as you can go, here in the States. So 11 o'clock and then work your way over. And we will be chatting and also posing our own questions of the cards and comparing notes. And we will be taking viewer questions. So I hope to see you tomorrow. It's not a normal day for me to be on screen, with my new regime or regimen, my new regimen. Uh, but anyway, there you go. And then I will be back again on Wednesday. All right, you all have a great rest of your Monday, and I will hopefully see you tomorrow with my friend Psychic Violetta tomorrow. All right, take care.